Hello traders and welcome to the market opening preview, January 29th, 2016. Traders, this is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Please come visit our website at fxclearing.com for your trading solutions. Traders, great to be with you on a Friday, the end of our trading week. However, we've got a lot going on today, a lot of data in the U.S. session, but I think bigger than that, even though the data in the U.S. session from Canada to the U.S. is big, it's high impact data. I think the biggest thing we got to worry about is what is the BOJ gonna say? The Bank of Japan has a press conference today during the London session. I think that is going to be major. Yesterday, one of Prime Minister Abe's assistants said that they were not against more easing. And are ready to take action if necessary. I think that's going to really jolt the charts. It did yesterday, and we'll see that as we get through our presentation. However, it is Friday, and I'm coming to you live from Pattaya, Thailand. Bright blue sunny skies, and it is nice and chilly outside. It's very comfortable. Doors and windows open. It is beautiful time of the year, and we are enjoying no air conditioning. Absolutely wonderful. Usually we're cooking about 98 degrees every day, so we are definitely enjoying this weather. All right, traders, let's move on. We'll continue on. So let me introduce myself to those of you who do not know who I am. My name is William Gilday. I'm your moderator for the Market Opening Preview Series every single trading day before the London Open. Now, today is Friday, so what happens after the New York session on Friday? After the New York session closes, we have the Friday wrap-up. That's where we look at about 10 to 15 daily charts, and we look at price action, what we can expect in the week ahead. Looks like it's going to be an interesting one this week with all the varieties we've had this week. Traders, I started trading in 2006. 2008, I retired from a wonderful 27-year career as a firefighter paramedic out of the great state of Florida. 9 days later, got on the Big Bird and came to Bangkok, Thailand. Traders, it's 8 years. I'm in my 8th year. Absolutely love living in Pattaya, Thailand. And the best thing about the whole thing is the time zone. I just wake up early and go to sleep late and just trade, and it's just absolutely wonderful. No, I do not sit in front of my charts for 15 hours a day. I have an iPhone and an iPad. I'm on the run. I'm on the go. However, I do like to do my analysis on my main computers, and I do like to do my entries on my main computer. I can monitor them on the road, but I don't like taking entries on the road. I do listen to fundamentals pretty well, and I'm not talking about media TV. I have a news feed that I pay for, and I find out what's going on around the world, if we get any surprise speakers and any surprises. I don't trade the numbers, I trade the results of the numbers. So I usually, if it's a news trade, I don't usually get into it for about 40 minutes. Let it settle down and let's see which direction it's going to continue in. I'm a technician, and I'd say probably 70% of my trading is all done by technical analysis, using candlestick patterns, price action, price structure. I use two indicators. I use Ikimoku clouds on another instrument that I trade in New York. Well, it's no secret, it's options. And I use harmonics on my Forex charts. So when I do harmonics on my Forex charts. And why would you do that? Because I use Fibonacci all the time in my trading. And what is harmonics? They're all Fibonacci calculations, the patterns, the butterflies and the bats. And that's basically how I trade. All right, let's get on to legal stuff. Keep the lawyers happy. Forex trading has a large potential rewards, but also a large potential of risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the Forex markets. Most importantly, traders, please do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Traders, always remember that past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results, i.e. you on a demo account. 4 months later, you have enough money to open up a live account, you start trading, you will see there will be a difference in your trading because you'll keep your eyes on that profit loss box more than you do your charts. You'll learn to get over that real quick. In the days when I started trading, we used to place sticky notes on your screen because you couldn't get rid of the PO box. Well, now you can get rid of the PO box, so it's not on your screen. All right, let's take a look at some news and commentary. We got a lot going on today, so let's get to it. Let's take a look first. Let's take a look at the calendar and see what we got going on. We did have some news come out earlier today. Um, let's see. Medium impact. New Zealand had building consents month on month came out within expectations. Japan had like 7 pieces of data come out. I think probably the one that stands out the most is jobs applications, which was in the green. It came in at 1.27. They were expecting 1.26, so that was pretty good news there. The rest of their numbers were pretty bad, to be honest with you. New Zealand medium impact ANZ business confidence came out, and it's not telling me if it's good or if it's bad. And it came out an hour ago, so not quite sure what that's all about. The Aussie had some private sector credit news data come out, and it came out poor at 0.5%. They were expecting 0.6%. So that wasn't too good. And they had PPI quarter on quarter for Q4, and it came out negative at 0.3% from Australia. That's medium impact news. Okay. All right. And JPY Japan, they have data like all day today. So we're looking at about 90 minutes before the London Open, we have the BOJ press conference. I'd be at your computers for that, especially if you're in any yen pairs. We have a lot of medium impact news data, folks, and I really can't go over all of them. I mean, there's a lot of stuff coming out today, medium and low impact news events. However, in the European session, we do have CPI coming out of the Eurozone, and that is high impact. That's 3 hours after the Open, and I would definitely keep an eye on that. We should monitor very highly. Then we get towards the U.S. session. We have Canada as GDP month on month, which is high impact. So we'll keep an eye on that for sure during the U.S. session. And then the big one is going to be out of the U.S. is GDP quarter on quarter also for Q4. And that comes out, and I think that wraps up our economic calendar, full calendar today. A lot of data coming out today. Let's see how the markets closed on yesterday. The Nikkei, we don't go down there yet. Let's see what what happened in New York. The Dow 30 closed up 0.79%. The S&P 500 closed up 0.55%. The Nasdaq closed up 0.86%, and the small cap 2,000 closed down negative 0.17%. Let's head on over to the Eurozone and see how they did. The DAX closed negative 2.44%. The FTSE 100 closed negative 0.98%. The CAC 40 closed negative 1.33%. The Euro Stock 50 out of Frankfurt closed negative 2.18%. All right, let's head on over to Asia. Now we're on track here. The Nikkei, which is currently trading, is negative 0.46%. The S&P ASX 200 out of Australia is currently trading, and they are negative 0.37%. China is not open yet. They closed yesterday negative 1.71%. Shanghai is not open yet, and they closed yesterday at negative 3.25%. And the Hang Seng out of Hong Kong closed yesterday positive 0.75%, and the Kospi that is currently trading is negative 0.70%. So very mixed in the Asian markets at the moment. So that gives you an idea what's going on with that. Just let's talk a little bit about what's going on out there. And, my commentary is these charts are very difficult to read. I mean, they're all over the place between oil and Japan, and there's just a lot of stuff fundamentally. We don't want to hear that because, most of us, I would say most traders are technical traders, and this is really hard to read. You set up trade plans and they don't work, and that's why you have to wait for price to come to you. And man, I just can't push that enough. Trade your plan. If you don't get entered, you don't get entered. It's just this market can eat you up if you're not on your toes. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And I have to be honest with you, a lot of these charts and stuff, they're very hard to read, and you're just gonna have to be alert. And you take a day like today where we have a lot of data coming out on a Friday, which is unusual, but we have a lot of data coming out, and some very important data. And I think the BOJ press conference, I think, is going to be the highlight of the day. I think that's really going to rattle some cages. So we'll see what happens. It might be a dud, but we'll see. I'm pretty going to be pretty alert on that one. Let's get started. Here's the euro dollar. Now, folks, I do not want to buy the euro dollar. We went through this yesterday, right? This buying of the euro dollar. I am not buying the euro dollar. There is nothing that the euro dollar has that I want. I mean, they just continue to put out bad numbers. They have so many problems over there. They've taken in all these poor refugees, and thank goodness they are taking them in. I mean, I applaud them for that. But they are just in an absolute mess, and this euro continues to climb. And it's staying at, at that 0,900 area, and it has been bouncing off this level for a long time. It's like nothing new, right? So I want to sell this below the daily pivot at 1.0917 with a retest. Has to give me a retest because this thing can bounce, right? You can get below it, get a closed candle, and your next candle can go up 50 pips, right? So you definitely want to retest, and you want to get confirmation that it wants to go down. This is eventually going to dump, folks. This is eventually going to dump in a year from now. You know what? We might be at below parity in the euro dollar, and I expect that. I expect this euro to absolutely dump through the bottom, and I don't know. If you look at the higher time frames, it is bearish. You go to the 1 hour, the 4 hour, look at the daily chart on this. It is bearish, folks. We want to take our profits at 1.0882, which is a 200 exponential moving average, and it's good support. So pretty easy trade plan, but let's see what happens. 2 days in a row, it's hasn't made me look too good. Okay, let's go over to the pound. Here's another one. This pound decided to do a little cleaning of house to the upside. Now it's in this nasty range. It's at this price level right now with this 43.55 area, and it's been here for a while and it's been rejected. So I put a trend line on here. Now, I'll enter before that trend line break or the daily pivot. I see the daily pivot there, and there is some price action there, and this is going to bounce. The bad part about this trade is your stop. Where are you going to put your stop in here? Yeah, you're going to have to put your stop above that wick, that red wick on the top of the chart. That's where your stop's going to be. So you're going to have to put, you're going to have to let this thing breathe and move a little bit. And, I'd rather wait and let's see what happens here. I don't know. This is all over the place. But if you look at the higher time frames, this is so bearish. It's unbelievable. Look at the daily chart on this, folks. You'd be amazed at this bearish. It's so bearish. So we want to get it at 1.4355, and we want to take profit at 1.4288. Let's take a look at the Aussie. Aussie's pretty dull, really. It moved a little bit yesterday to the upside, and it's basically been sideways. Not a lot going on. It's at support now, the daily pivot point. I don't expect this to go to all one. That would be my normal trading pattern. My strategy in trading is always pullbacks. And I'd like to see it pull back to the all one or that top yellow line and then sell it. I don't think that's going to happen, to be honest with you. I think it's going to continue to fall. And that's why my trade plan is let it get below the daily pivot point, which is, well, now it's support. We're going to get a retest. That now it's resistance. Now we can sell this at 0.7057, and we'll take it down to 0.7021. That's not a big trade, folks. It's only a 30-pip trade. So, just be careful with this Aussie on a Friday with all this data coming out, because the Aussie reacts to this data, and it's definitely going to react to that BOJ press conference. I'm telling you, these bears are going to go berserk if they say anything crazy, and I'm expecting they're going to say something crazy. I don't know. I could be wrong. But I think they're going to do something to weaken this yen. I don't think they want the yen as strong as it is. I think it's starting to affect their exports, and there's other reasons. Here's the Euro Aussie. Basically hasn't done anything. Yesterday's trade worked, by the way. This was our take profit yesterday. Yeah. Yesterday's trade did work, but look at how it bounced way back up here in New York, and here we are currently now. So it is closed below, so that is now resistance. So I'd like to get in this at 1.5412. We're going to take it down to the S1 and also our EA support zone line there, that yellow line at 1.5315. So this could be a really nice trade. This could be a 100-pip trade here if this works for us. So we have plenty of room. We just need this to continue to the downside, which I'm hoping it does. this was a good trade here, folks. And, unfortunately, I wasn't up at 4 in the morning. But this was a great trade off this 200 exponential moving average. Resistance was rejected. Doji candle, next red candle, you're in, right? And here you go. You make your 15, 20 pips, and you're still in. But you break even, and it's a free trade. I mean, if you caught that, applauds to you because you did a great job there. That was a really good move there to take that to the downside. And we are over our normal 15 minutes. I expected that because the commentary went a little long. So yeah, this is a great trade if this works. This year, I'm really looking to jump into this. This looks really good. It just looks like it's at the spot of happiness, the spot to go. Let's take a look at the euro yen. Euro yen, a funky little guy. The pair is bearish. Let's take a look at the daily chart or the 4-hour chart. You can see it's very bearish pair. The yen is a lot stronger than the euro. And it decided to take a run to the upside yesterday. And now I basically put a trend line break here. It's going to have to break this trend line. Now, remember, I'm recording this during Asia, so if you come in London and see this video, you have to go back probably 11 candles to see where I'm at. But I'd like to see this break this trend line and just take it down. I see the daily pivot point there. I'm not worried about it. There's not a lot of price action to the left, and it'll eventually get through it. Again, where's your stop got to be? Yeah, it's got to be above that red wick right there, right? I've been talking about stops too much, but you got to let this thing breathe now because it's going to bounce off the daily pivot. You're not going to be able to get down here, and even if it breaks the daily pivot, jump into break even. You're going to have to let this thing move a little bit, and you're going to need to be 20, 25 pips before you're going to be able to let take your break even plus 5, and then keep it with like 18 pips of breathing room for the rest of the trade. But we want to get out at 128.90. I think it's a really great trade. We do have an S1 pivot I'm not too worried about, even though there is price action, but it's pretty far back. We got a nice wide open space for this to head down. So I think we have a really nice trade here if we can get this to work. Let's take a look at the New Zealand dollar. New Zealand dollar did a little boost to the upside last couple of days. Not worried about it. Listen, you can't get no more bearish in the New Zealand dollar. You look at a 1-hour chart and see it's bearish. 1 hour, 4-hour daily, just look at it, it's bearish. However, it's sitting at very strong support at the moment, sitting on the 200 exponential moving average. Look at how many candles. I bet there's over 20 candles that this has been rejected by this 200 exponential moving average. And then you have the daily pivot point right below it. So basically, this has to clear all this, retest the daily pivot point, and we'll enter this because now that's resistance. And we'll get it to 0.6463, and we're going to get out at our support zone at 0.6418. So, a nice 50 pip trade or so, but it's going to be tough. This is going to have to move down. With all the data coming out, I think it can happen. I have no fears that this can happen. So keep an eye on that, my friends. All right, that wraps up our 6 currency pairs. Traders, on behalf of myself, William Gilday, and our great friends at FXCL. FXCL, Excellence in Trading. I thank you for being with me on a Friday, January 29th of 2016. Please don't forget the Friday wrap-up will be done sometime after the New York close. Traders, have a great trading day. Please be alert to data. It's so important today. There's a lot out there today, and a lot can go on. But I think we can have a profitable day if we work hard. And remember to trade smart and not hard. Take care, traders. Have a great one. And the market opening preview, we'll see you next Asia session. Bye-bye now.